In the near future, South Korea's first crewed mission to the moon ends in tragedy when an explosion occurs on board. 5 years later, they launch a second mission. Woori-ho is Korea's second attempt to launch a moon exploration rocket, aiming to become the second country after the United States to conduct research on the moon's surface for energy sources like helium-3. Selected for this crucial mission are astronauts Lee Sang-won, Kim Rae-won, Cho Yoon-jong, Lee Ik-kyung, and Hwang Sun-Woo, Do Kyung-soo, each chosen for their expertise. Although Hwang Sun-Woo lacks extensive piloting experience, his Navy SEAL training gives him an edge due to his ability to handle extreme situations. His father, Hwang Gyutae, Lee Sung-min, was the tech lead on the first mission 5 years ago, which ended in a catastrophic explosion. Gyutae is no longer alive, but Sun-Woo is determined to honor his father's memory by ensuring this mission's. As soon as Woori-ho launches, another anomaly occurs. Unprecedented solar winds force satellites to shut down, even affecting the USA's manned Lunar Gateway. The 3 astronauts are left in the void, approaching lunar orbit with no means of communication with the Korean team. Relief sweeps over everyone when contact is finally made, and the astronauts confirm their safety. Lee and Cho conduct external checks on the spacecraft, believing repairs are possible. Meanwhile, Sun-Woo, with limited technical knowledge, grows increasingly paranoid at every alarm inside the spacecraft. They discover a fuel tank leak, and before they can react, a massive explosion kills Cho Yoon-jong instantly. Commander Lee, barely holding on, realizes he won't survive and instructs Sun-Woo to reboot the system power to restore communications. Reboot the system power to restore communications and ensure Sun-Woo's safe return. In a poignant moment, Lee sacrifices himself, opening his hatch and disappearing into the void, ensuring his body won't affect the spacecraft's movements. Back at the Space Research Center, a decision is made to call on Kim Jae-guk, Sol Kyung-gu, the only surviving scientist who designed the spacecraft. Kim can guide them on how to remotely access the command module and bring the spacecraft home. Despite past political tensions and expulsion from the International Space Committee, ISC, the minister, Jo Han-chol, pleads with Kim to save Sun-Woo, the son of Kim's late colleague Hwang Gyutae. Kim reorients the spacecraft using thrusters to prevent Sun-Woo from freezing due to a damaged heating system and begins working on returning the spacecraft home. Sun-Woo, however, believes waiting and relying on others isn't the best option. He opts to use autopilot and whatever guidance he can get from the Space Center to attempt a lunar landing. Kim advises him to wait for the Lunar Gateway's arrival in 2 days, but Sun-Woo, driven by a need to honor his father and prove himself, decides to proceed. Against all odds, he successfully lands on the moon, making his nation proud. Yet, the danger isn't over, a meteor shower looms. While collecting samples, the dreaded meteor shower begins. Sun-Woo rushes back to his lunar lander but meets with an accident as meteors impact near him. He manages to launch the lunar lander module before the meteors destroy the site and docks with the command module. However, a meteor shower hits the command module, destroying it before Sun-Woo can transfer. Following Kim's advice, Sun-Woo detaches the lunar lander module in the nick of time, but communication with Earth is lost, and his life support system's signal is gone. Kim, desperate, contacts his ex-wife Yoon Moon-young, Kim Hye-e, at NASA. Despite political tensions, Moon-young secretly provides Kim with information to re-establish contact with Sun-Woo. NASA's intercepted radio messages confirm Sun-Woo is alive. Driven by conscience, Moon-young passes classified information to Kim, who uploads Sun-Woo's audio message online, sparking global support for his rescue. Under public pressure, the U.S. government permits Korea's Woori-ho to dock with the Lunar Gateway.